What's up, folks? Yeah. God, you finally shut up. Wow, man, that was crazy. So, you guys, hey, do me a favor, share this out because, it'll go where it needs to go, anyways. There's a couple of things that we're gonna talk about now that some people finally just shut the fuck up. I don't even know. I mean, I really have no idea. But here's the deal. When it comes to those two, the more that they talk, the better it is. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give it a few minutes because, like I said, I know people are busy. I'm not going to give it a long time because you guys know me. I don't like a lot of dead air. But if you'd share it out, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm going to drink real fast, and then I'm going to go ahead and we'll get started. So please share. All right. So, wow, that was a very interesting video. It was very long. It was very long-winded. Lots of hypocrisy, and I mean lots. Um, the cool touch of that is Pam saying that people don't have her permission to put out information regarding public information like she did to Abe when she tried to blackmail him. She didn't have his permission for that either. That's amazing. And Karen and Pam, they like to go around saying it's just public information. It's not doxing. It's just public information. So it's funny how they want to try to justify for themselves and try to chastise for others, but it's a typical thing for them. Now here's the biggest part of this fucking however long it was, dramatic video. Because you see, when Karen Materna and Pam Liggett decided to continuously slander my name and etc. when I was not even on here for months, and harass me and continue to, and there was no back and forth, there was no anything. It was straight harassment and trying to, against me and against other people. But we're going to talk about just myself, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff, how it involves KK and things of that nature. Now, you see, what that very long, hypocritical, and bullshit-filled video it was an attempt to intimidate people in a legal proceeding, involved in a legal proceeding, including witnesses, in a case that is going forth against Karen Lynn Pettit Paterna, attorney out of Montgomery, Alabama. You see, what she's done is, like, as soon as she found out that I came back, after months just kept talking and her false accusations, when I said I'd come back, and I said I will make sure that every bit of information I have to prove the patterns and the slander and things against myself from Karen Pettit Paterna, she contacted DJ KK's attorney. She immediately emailed and said, "Oh my God, I won't talk to you if you're going to involve Cropper." So she obviously knows that I have so many things, including her, false and malicious, calling me a pedophile when she was friends with NJ Turner for months. I have the copy from part of the call that Marietta and Shauna and them were on, where she is called out and admits to falsely and maliciously doing this. This is before the whole thing with the Turners. And what this video has done is she's attempting to try to intimidate, harass, and influence people who are either involved and or witnesses in a proceeding, legal proceedings against her. Okay, and I'm sorry to tell you, Karen, I know that you're trying very, very hard, but you doing so, that's bad. Those are felonies, and I know that you can look that up. And an attempt to harass and intimidate witnesses and parties to a legal proceeding against yourself, that's exactly what your video you just got done after droning for hours, you tried to do. But I'm going to let you know that it failed miserably, because what you've done is you've given us even more proof of what you're trying to do, the things you have done. And right now you're scrambling. You are trying really hard to get it to stop. But at this point, it's too late because you've already done so much. And there's so many people that you've infected their lives negatively. And another great thing, when it comes to talking to the Alabama bar and, talking about, the things that you've done, Karen, the false and malicious calling of people pedophiles, lots of things like that. Now you have teamed up yet again, so you can play the circle with NJ Turner and Justin Turner. And that's an amazing thing, because as a guardian ad litem, you have now reassociated yourself with and are working with people who created a fake child sex trafficking ring to have people targeted, who have run around and made false claims that people have raped their children. You have Justin Turner, who in a video mentioned that he wanted to fuck my minor daughter. So you have a pedophile, and you're a guardian ad litem. Boy, you just collect the fucking best of the best. I mean, you just make it so much easier, because now you have somebody who has the judgment of things that you've done through all of this. And now you're now attempted, to go ahead and intimidate witnesses and parties to legal proceedings. And you know that they're ongoing because you've already spoken to an attorney knowing that the things are ongoing. But you've now literally gone with all of the fucking mistakes and shit you've done before. You've now teamed up with the Turners. And I have so much on them with their fake accusations of people raping their children, of the man wanting to talk about wanting to fuck my minor daughter. Oh yeah, and then that I've raped my kids. They said other people raped their kids, and you're now teamed up with and working with and helping again. You did the first time, wasn't bad enough. You're doing it again. So I think, that's going to prove a lot as to your character and the people who you associate with. Yes, and Judy, they wished her daughter would be raped 50 times and need surgeries to do so. They wish that Judy's homosexually, son, they wish gay things, bashing on him. And I'm not, trying to out your son, Judy. You've been very open about it, but they've come out and had, homosexual slurs against her son. They also said, knowing he's a law enforcement officer, that they hope that he's shot and found dead in a ditch, as well as he rolls his car some odd number of times and his head is decapitated. See, these are the people that Karen Lynn Pettit Paterna, guardian ad litem and attorney out of Montgomery, Alabama, and Pamela Liggett out of Arizona, who have been harassing myself and other people for years now. This is who they are now teamed back up with. So, hey, Karen, it's going to be even easier to show the Alabama bar who you are, who you associate with, and who you have also doing some of your dirty work. And again, those are the people you're associating with. That's a great thing for a guardian ad litem to do. Real fucking smart. Like, the first time wasn't bad enough, right? But to do it again, knowing like that we have all this information, is wonderful. Wonderful. Yep, she did. She called Pensacola Police Department on the Turners and talked about all that stuff. All that's the great things. But it's funny because I called it. I called it. As soon as I fucking saw everything was going on and things weren't going their way, that they would run back over to the Turners, and the Turners hated her. Boy, they were talking all kinds of shit about her and her fucking kids and everything else. They're all BFF now, so we'll just forget about that, though, right? Right. So, Pam says that people don't have the permission to put out information, public information, that she's done to other people and tried to blackmail somebody and then did it. But she thinks that now suddenly that she could say, you don't have permission? Like, I don't think she had permission to put out Abe's yeah, I know. And she didn't have permission to put out Abe's information and dox his location. Now, mind you, where a true essential worker and frontline hero lives, and Pam doxed the address of a doctor. A doctor. Didn't have permission, I'm sure. Okay. So you see that whole, attempt to intimidate, frighten, harass, coerce, whatever it is you want to think you're trying to do, it didn't work. It didn't work. You attempted to. And now we have all of that again. Wow. Right there on your own video. Wow. Oh, her immorality. That's what I'm talking about. You've got the same thing when it comes to her associating with the Turners, who have done the things they've done. Now, did I come back out and say things that I did things to their adult daughter after being for years accused by Materna and her buddies, the Turners, that I raped my kids, And after Justina Turner had mentioned the fact he wanted to fuck my minor daughter, let's not mention the fact that NJ Turner went and stalked my ex-wife's page, and then Karen Materna, she went and stalked my daughter's Facebook page, and that was okay for her to do that. It was okay for Karen Materna to go and take pictures from my daughter's Facebook page and disseminate them to other people. And guess what, Materna? The Turners don't live in Alabama. You did that across state lines. Yep, she did. They did that too. But you did that, Materna. You put my minor daughter's picture from her social media platform in a chat and gave it to NJ Turner across state lines. Wow. Ow. So if that's so illegal, then you just admitted that you've done these things yourself. Wow. And then for your accusation that I passed pictures or whatever it was across state lines to DJ KK, no, not true at all. As a matter of fact, I put your entire video that you did on YouTube. Yeah. And you see, he was playing video from your video, and paused it on certain places. Okay. But he was playing your video. So he wasn't doing any photographs, and he wasn't trying to harass your child. No, he was pointing out the fact that you exploited your children. Okay. Now, as for the Fair Use Act, you see, you're just not as fucking smart as you seem to think you are, because you see, the Fair Use Act also covers intellectual property. Okay. And that's what you would try to claim as your intellectual property, not copyrighted material, Karen. So maybe you're not quite as smart as you think you are, but we already all know that. Okay. So when you did these things, right, you did so publicly and live. And I have a record of your video that you did live of you exploiting your children. And that video is on YouTube. Now, you see my other YouTube, Karen, you did not get my other YouTube taken away. You see, you tried, and they told you to get fucked because of fair use. No, what happened was the fact that I put up the videos of that dude who was running around, that J guy, who was harassing, threatening women and stuff on here, stalking their other social media accounts, and threatened to blow up the United States. I put those videos up there. And what happened is certain things that he said in those videos, even though I put them up for law enforcement to get, there are certain things that YouTube have algorithms like Facebook, and certain things trigger that to be flagged. And there were 5 videos that I put up that he did. And all 5 of those videos were flagged because of what he was saying. Okay, so they went ahead, they took that account down, right? So what I did was I went ahead and put everything up in a Google Doc for law enforcement. But hey, that's neither here nor there. And I'm going to let Miss Blair go ahead and speak before I continue, because she's coming up here. So, hello, Miss Blair. Yes, ma'am.
Had no minor children were shown in that video but hers. But in one part of the video, she showed my son and daughter together. At that time, my son was 15 and my daughter was 13.
Well, and let's not forget the very first casual wear one. She showed a picture of your daughter when she was a minor as well.
Yes. So, yes, right. My kids were minors at that time.
And she didn't have that permission, did she?
No.
Oh, there you go. And do you live in Alabama?
No.
Also, that means that when she did so, she took those, and it was across state lines, right?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, those pictures were on my Facebook, so they had to have been taken, and my Facebook was private. Oh
my God. But the law doesn't go against them. They can do whatever they want. They feel they have carte blanche to do so. So, and again, I live in Ohio, and so do my kids. And you see, when Karen Materna went into my 14-year-old daughter's Facebook page, because as she says, she can do it if she wants to, right? Is against across state lines. So she took those pictures from an account that's from Ohio and disseminated those across state lines to people who were in Oklahoma, across state lines. Oh, Karen. Oh, Karen. What are
Now
you
I
going
can
to talk
tell you
about
the
now?
ones that I did show of Courtney, I showed, and they were all modeling pictures. They were
Right.
pictures of Courtney. Um, but I never showed the pictures of Courtney at the private beach in her bra when she was pregnant. I never showed the picture of her and her brother when they were at the pool when they were 13 and 15. I never showed any of those pictures. They were on my Facebook.
Ginger's Rum, that video with comments will definitely be on YouTube tonight. It might take it a while to process.
That's
It may
all
not
I
process.
wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. So yeah, there
No
were some
problem.
minor children in it.
Oh, I appreciate you coming up and
Besides hers.
saying that. Absolutely, I appreciate that. So, and again, they attempted to intimidate and harass witnesses and parties to legal proceedings against Karen Lynn Pettit Materna. And now she's back being friends and using the services of the people who talk about fucking minor children, falsely accuse people of raping their children, whose sick fucking deviant minds have come up with fake child sex traffickings with details, mind you. Okay, so that right, I mean, this is like this is amazing. And the last part of that video, Karen, let me tell you, icing on the cake, icing on the cake, because you see, you once again defamed and slandered me, saying that I was giving information from a woman to her husband because she wouldn't have sex with me, blah, blah, blah. You see, Karen, I have shown the proof of the conversations in there. The person you are now trying to defend is a sovereign citizen, mind you, who said that all police officers should die. Now, you see, I did a video, and I showed the conversation between she and I. She came from California to Indiana to work on a person's supposed uh, presidential campaign who was in there, Chris Marks, as a matter of fact. And she wanted me to go from Ohio to Indiana so that I would fuck her. And I said, well, that weekend I had my kids, and she had been acting fucking really weird, and I found out about her methamphetamine addiction and all these other things that are going on. And I told her, no, no. And that's all documented in the messages that I already put out. And I can do it again, Karen, but I want you to go ahead and put out this proof that you supposedly have. Now, what happened is when I told this woman no, she went and fucked, Robert Slavin, who is your good buddy Francesca Amato Banfield's boyfriend, former boyfriend, whatever he is, don't know, but they were. Okay. Yes, Materna did admit that. Thank you, Shauna. I was going to get to that, but thank you. So again, you're talking about a woman who was a sovereign citizen, who was a methamphetamine addicted whore, who said all police officers should die, who I told I would not go from Ohio to Indiana to fuck her, even though she came to California. She went to fucking fuck Robert Slavin, mind you, and got the fucking clap from Robert Slavin. Oh, damn. And then got pissed off and was trying to go ahead and say where she had an injury at work when she worked at UPS and her broken her leg or foot or something else. And she was trying to tell people that her husband did those things. Now, you see, Karen, you talked about you don't do those things in your profession because it's about client. I've never represented anybody except myself. I've never represented anyone. I've never written a fucking document for anybody. I've never fucking done anything, never gone to a courtroom and practiced law, said I was a lawyer, represented anybody but myself. So there's more false accusations, Karen, that you have zero fucking proof of. But you've already now, once again, defamed me, slandered my name, that you've continued to do so with all of those. So you just, once again, reaffirmed more slander and defamation of my character on the last video you just did. Karen. Oh, Karen. And the fact that you've got people like Pam Liggett who threatened to dox my children with their full names and their schools they went to and things like that, you think that somehow along the line that she's going to have some kind of credibility, right? You've already called and made false accusations on me at my police department, I guess now numerous times from the sounds of it. You said that I had illicit material on my thing. Then you on the video, you claimed I said I had child porn, which you also finally came out and said I never said that. And you just kind of went that fucking, you assumed, but you made a video as a statement of fact. Okay? You called my police department and tried to make a statement of fact that I had illicit pictures of children on my devices. And the police report even shows where they asked you, do you have proof of that? And you said, no, just what he claimed on the Periscope video. So you didn't have any idea what the fuck the pictures were. I never said child pornography. You tried to take it that way because, Karen, you're the same person who has contacted my ex-wife, my ex-mother-in-law, and have admitted to doing so. I have where you went to my daughter's page on Facebook, a 14-year-old child. Your sick fucking mind went to go there, and not only did you go look, but you took screenshots of my daughter's profile picture of herself and some of the comments on that picture. And you did so, and you disseminated across state lines from Alabama to Oklahoma. Now, your false claims that I have somehow given pictures, or you said pictures as well, to DJ KK across state lines. Another false accusation in your attempt to harass and intimidate parties, witnesses, and parties to legal actions going against you, Karen Paterna. You see, that video is on YouTube. That video was on YouTube before for quite a while. So that video, you like to show me somewhere where I've taken this video out and I've said, I'm going to harass Karen Paterna's, just daughter, or at all. And you can't do that either, Karen. See, there's more slander and lies in your attempt to intimidate and harass parties to and witnesses to a legal case coming against you, Karen. You see, you were the one who was completely transfixed on exploiting your daughter in that video, in both her bikini, her two-piece bikini, and other things. You focused very, very, you used an extended amount of time focused on your daughter and trying to defame Tammy Blair's daughter. That's you, Karen. You are the one who is sick and twisted and has this weird, sick fetish about other people's children. You've done it to Tammy Blair. You've done it to me. And you've done it to other people as well. You see, there's a pattern, Karen. And you see, in the video, when KK was showing part of the video from YouTube, that what you did publicly live, okay, he also had shown where the pictures of your son, where you tried to talk about Tammy Blair's son. So your son was in there. And then it showed the picture of your son and your daughter together that you put in those videos, Karen. See, there were no photographs anywhere, not sent across state lines, not in access of or anything. It was from the live public video that you did. So, more false accusations, more, if you've put that in a police report, I hope you have, more false police reports that you have written. You now have this long video with more false accusations, trying to slander myself and other people, trying to intimidate us to not go ahead and move forward with the proof and truth against you and your good buddy Pam Liggett if necessary. Karen, that's bad. As a lawyer, you should know better. See, what you wanted is you wanted me to come on here and you wanted me to go ahead and be really, really mad and you wanted me to be upset, but I'm not. Just like your failed attempts to intimidate me and harass me and prevent me from moving forward with legal action or being a witness to the legal action. And it's failed. So you see, Karen, when I file and sign my affidavit, it will be 1,000% nothing but truth. And that truth that I have absolute proof of. I will sign that document under fear of perjury Are you going to do the same, Karen? Are you going to do the same with all the accusations that you've made against me, including for months running around falsely and maliciously calling me a pedophile? Are you going to sign an affidavit, Karen Pettit Paterna, that says I was in possession or am in possession of child pornography? Are you going to do that under penalty of perjury, Karen? I bet you don't. Because what you've done is you falsely and maliciously slandered my name, harassed myself, contacted family or ex-family members. You've admitted yourself, you went to my daughter's Facebook page. If it's public, you can do it, and you can do whatever you want, remember? And you copied a photograph of a 14-year-old girl with the comment section, and you disseminated photos of my minor child across state lines, Karen. Did you forget that you did that? And also, did you forget that I have the entire fucking chat that proves it on top of you admitting it? See, Karen, you should know better. And here's the thing. When I said about Chris Hallett, I said he was a genius. So yeah, the guy was real fucking smart. I've also made very clear that I hadn't talked to him in a few years. I had no idea what he was involved in, but I wasn't agreeing with any of the things or the people he was involved with. Karen, I made that perfectly clear long before you ever knew I even made the video. Long before. The same person who you, as a fucking attorney and guardian ad litem, or just human fucking being, have sat around and made fun of and made jokes of the murder of a person, a father, because you didn't like him. But you're the same person who runs around calling people pedophiles because you don't like them. You go ahead, and I'm waiting. I've waited for years, Karen, for you to put out this proof that I gave somebody's husband information because they wouldn't sleep with me. I'm waiting for that proof because I've already put the video out, and I can do it again to prove the fact that I told her no when she came from California to Indiana. I can prove the fact that I told her no, that she even admits she went and fucked Robert Slavin, and everything in between, and where she said was talking, and I told her, called her out for that's some sovereign citizen shit, and she says all cops should die. See, Karen, you're defending another sovereign citizen. And you know what's really great, Karen? Because it's funny, just like I've done in the past, where I point out all the things that you have done is all around Saul Alinsky's book about rules for radicals and everything else and I've called you point blank fucking Antifa. Now tonight, you come up and you try to call me Antifa. You see, Karen, that's not how it works, because there's nothing that I've ever done that has been even a little bit liberal. There's nothing that I've ever done that's even been anything like Antifa, but there sure is from you and your friends, the Turdners, and Pamela Liggett from Arizona, who has been family with sovereign citizens and has fully admitted to being friends and assisting another sovereign citizen, Screwy Louie, out there in Arizona. So, Karen, you're the one running around with sovereign citizens. You're the one running. Randy Davis, as a matter of fact, hey, he doesn't believe in the court system. He doesn't use an attorney. He goes through there. He doesn't like the attorneys or the judges. He's fought the thing about the government, but that's okay because that's your friend. Isn't that right, Karen? But he's one that doesn't believe in the court system or lawyers. Oh, but you are BFFs with him. But anybody else that has an adverse opinion of a fucking attorney, well, then evidently they're all sovereign citizens. And with you, as an example of an attorney, a family court attorney and guardian ad litem, how can you possibly think that myself or anybody who's ever experienced your bullshit threats, harassment, slander, defamation could ever have a high opinion of a lawyer or guardian ad litem? How could you expect that? If you are the representation of all of that, Karen, then of course people will have a very bad, very, very bad opinion of lawyers and guardian ad litems and the family court in general. So I know you want me to be upset. You want to try to say that it was about the fair use is about copyrighted material. No, it's also about intellectual property, Karen. And the only thing that you could go ahead and possibly claim on the videos that you did live and publicly, because you and your friend have collected a lot of videos that I have done that were public. Your good buddies, the Turners, took little pieces of shit and flipped them around and contacted my daughter, mind you, that you stalked. So let's put that puzzle together, shall we? That you guys are now all buddies with. And that video you just did further proves it. Oh, God, this is good. You see, more false accusations, more attempts to intimidate and harass people who are either witnesses or parties to legal proceedings that are coming, and you know for in fact are coming, Karen, because you've been in contact with the attorney representing the other side. And you know for a fact that I'm also involved with that as a witness and or party, because you also emailed that same attorney and knew that I was going to be a party to it. And you said, if you're going to talk to Cropper, I don't want to be a party to it. You won't talk to that attorney, Karen. So you can't deny the fact, knowing that I'm not either a witness and or party to said litigation or pending legal proceedings against you. So you can't say you didn't know that, Karen. You can't say that KK, you didn't know he's a party to it, Karen. You attempted to harass and intimidate people involved in legal proceedings and or witnesses to your misconduct, your illegal activities. So that video is saved. That video will also be going ahead and sent over to the attorneys involved with that. That video, along with all the videos of you falsely and maliciously calling me a pedophile all over Periscope when you were good friends with the Turners, mind you. Now, you did that with them before. Oh, now you're buddies again. Remember that. Okay. So the same people who have made false fucking rape reports, etc., which I've already got, I'm not going to go over that again. You are now with them. You've been with them the whole time. Let's just be fucking realistic. I said point blank that you would go right back over there. You did, and they just accept you with wide open arms. You fucking people never weren't together. You were together the whole fucking time. And if you think for a minute that I trusted you or fucking Pam, you are out of your mind. What I told you and any kind of things that were going on is what I wanted you to know. You see, I was smart enough not to talk much of anything around you, Karen, because I know you're a shady bitch. And I know what you've done in your slandering, etc. And not only do I have you admitting and being called out and admitting to falsely and maliciously calling me a pedophile for months, but I also have your text, your thing in a group chat where you apologize for falsely calling me a sovereign citizen, saying, sorry, I called Cropper, I'm sorry I called you an SC. I shouldn't have done that. You knew for a fact that I wasn't, and you apologized for calling me that. And now all of a sudden that I'm back in here, and I said I've had enough of your slander and your bullshit and your intimidation, your harassment and your defamation of my character. I'm going to go ahead and be involved in the case opened against you by KK. And all of a sudden you lost your mind. Now I'm a sovereign citizen again. Now I'm a pervert. You keep talking about this fake fucking story you have proof of but have never shown, and you can't because it's not true. And you made how long is Allie in here? Is anybody in here? Can anybody tell me how long that video was? Because I literally turned it on, started recording the screen, and walked the fuck away. And I watched it from somebody else's scope that was rescoping it. Because I know it was hours. I thought it was over 4 hours. I thought so. Over 4 hours of all that. And in the comments, you got your good buddy, the Turners. And there's a whole laundry list of the shit they've done. Whole laundry list. And not to mention the fact that you were claiming you were such good friends with certain people who are no longer on this app that have been, horribly harassed by the Turners. You claimed that you were their friend. You and Pam were claiming you were their friends, and now you're back with the Turners. You claimed to Tracy and Judy you were their friend. And you lied to him, just like you lied to him, making false claims that there was some sort of a conspiracy for me to attack Tracy and Judy. And Shauna and fucking everybody believed all that bullshit for a little while. Unfortunately, they attacked me, and you succeeded in a few things. You did ruin a few friendships. You did. But you didn't stop anything. You didn't destroy anything. What you've actually done is make it stronger. You've made the case against you stronger. So, again, and here's another great thing, Karen. You see, the phone call, the phone call where you were outed, confronted, and admitted you were falsely and maliciously calling me a pedophile. Hey, guess what? I know somebody, and I know their phone number, who was on that call. Oh, and that person lives in Ohio now. Oh, and I think I can go ahead and come up with enough gas money to get them to and from a fucking 3-hour each way drive. And I can also probably get them to talk to my police department. I'm sure. I'm not saying for sure because I don't speak for anybody, but I'm sure if I reached out to a certain person, whether we're fucking best friends like we used to be or we're just fucking cordial, pretty fucking sure they would tell the truth and the whole truth. And we're party to that call. So then you couldn't say, well, he wasn't party to that call. He can't discuss that. But some other people were. Mm, mm, mm. I'm pretty sure of all the shit you've done to myself and to other people. Not only the people like myself, and see, I appreciate that. I didn't want to speak for you. But I mean, if I talk to my police department, I have your phone number. And now you're saying you'd be there. If it's okay with you, I would love to go ahead and give my police department your phone number as well, because you were a witness to a whole lot of her shit. So I appreciate that. And I would do the same for you guys. I don't give a fuck if we were fighting or whatever it was. If something like this, I would be there, and you fucking know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. Right is right, wrong is fucking wrong. But see, Karen, I don't even have to go ahead and have people come from a different state who were parties to your phone call where you were contacted or you were confronted and then admitted to falsely and maliciously calling me a pedophile. And I have the audio recording of it and a person who was a party to it. Oh my God, I love this game. So, Karen, what you did was illegal. It failed, but it's still illegal to attempt to intimidate and harass witnesses and or parties to legal proceedings that you know for a fact that I'm a party to and or a witness to, because you've already contacted that attorney and talked about me being part of it. So you can't say you didn't know. You can't say you didn't know, and then you can't say you don't know that KK is involved either with that. You can't do that, but you sure were on there. And it's funny because, the comment was made to Don Stakes saying that, you can't go and sue me because you're an avatar, and me calling you a pedophile means nothing because you're an avatar. Bitch, I'm not an avatar. And as a matter of fact, this is really going to fucking really get to you, Karen, because I'm a public figure. See, I have a page on Facebook with over 12,000 likes, and I am a public figure. I've done public speaking engagements in Washington, D.C., and other places, mind you. But I'm a public figure, whether I like that or not, and I don't really like it too much, but I accept it. But I'm a public figure, sorry. And what you've done with your defamation, slander, etc., is you have hurt me and my public figure and cost me unknown monetary damages and opportunities. Not to mention my character slandering, my character defamation, the harassment by you of these things, Karen. See, you have done damage intentionally and maliciously. And again, I am a public figure. Not because I do every now and again a couple of videos here over on Periscope, but I am the sole operator, sole person that has that page, Reality and Ridiculous. And you see, Karen, as I'm here on my account under Reality Ridiculous 2, you see, now you have also slandered the name of my public platform to where I'm a public figure. Oh my God, Karen, you really should think these things through, because I certainly have. I certainly have. And you don't like the fact that I'm a public figure. You don't like the fact that people listen. If I decide to go live on Facebook, you don't like that fact. And it's just too fucking bad. And when I said about Chris Hallett being a genius, and I paid, I paid my respects to a man that I knew that I hadn't spoken to in a long time, but I knew the man. And you know what, Karen? I think the biggest reason you didn't like him is because, much like myself and other people, we're all smarter than you are. And you really don't like the fact that you can't just run over fucking people, intimidate people, and do the things you want to do and get away with it. See, Chris Hallett was smarter than you are. Obviously, I'm way fucking smarter than you are, which is why you have targeted and harassed me for over 4 years. You see, you can't say that, oh, they hate me because I did this. No, bitch, you have been coming after me for 4+ fucking years, with the assistance of NJ and Justin Turner, Pamela Liggett, and a host of other fucking people. And now you're back together again. Oh, the team is back together again. But the same people you used to do those things, Karen, to attack and harass me, you've now just reassociated yourself with them. And that last little video you did went ahead and proved it. Because you were over in their video that's been captured with the comments where you and Pam are in it, in the comment section. And then they came over to your video. And so your association, it's really easy to prove. So the same people you've used to harass and intimidate and stalk and et cetera of myself, you're now having due to KK, myself, and other people around the internet, especially those who are either witnesses and or parties to legal proceedings involving one Karen Lynn Pettit Paterna out of Montgomery, Alabama. What you've done, Karen, what you've done is very, very bad. Attempted intimidation of witnesses and or parties, harassment, defamation against witnesses and or parties that you know for a fact are involved in proceedings against you that are coming against you. Those are called felonies, Karen. Intimidation of a witness. It's called a felony. I figured, Tech, but let it be in the lobby. It's okay. See, Karen, you can go ahead and try to tell everybody that the Fair Use Act is about copyright. It's not. It also covers, what was it? What was it, Karen? Not just copyright. Oh, yeah, intellectual property. And that is the only claim that you could potentially put up about somebody having taken a video that you did live and made publicly. The only thing you could do, it's not a matter of a copyright. You could have only claimed something about intellectual property, and the Fair Use Act also covers that, Karen. So you see, you're not as smart as you think you are. You're not as smart as you think you are. But hey, keep trying. Your video, your 4-hour video that includes attempted intimidation and harassment of witnesses and or parties that are coming to, that you know are bringing legal recourse against you, those are felonies, Karen. And I'm really glad that you've done it, not only on the video, because not only is it against the law, but it's also going to help show the Alabama State Bar that you, as an attorney, knowingly used that legal knowledge that those are illegal activities, and that you know better and did so anyways. That's going to look wonderful in the package to the Alabama State Bar, Karen. Because you see, you do take an oath as an attorney, the same as the judges. I pointed that out. And in your oaths, it talks about things that go on not only in your, to your clients, it also talks about your private life. And you're not allowed to do things that could show impropriety or give the appearance of impropriety. And you sure have done a lot of that, Karen. I pointed that out and put this video up on my YouTube, I'm sure, where I pointed out when I look up the Alabama and the federal thing, where it talks about it. You are held to a standard not only in your legal profession, but in your personal life as to not be able to go ahead and bring up questions of impropriety, etc., etc. And you have more than done that in your false, malicious claims, calling people pedophiles, etc. So, Karen, I'm going to wrap this up. You wanted me to get mad and you wanted me to go ahead and do all these different things. I guarantee you she's fucked some dads. As a matter of fact, I have chats with NJ Turner where she point blank told me that in the chats between she and Karen Materna admitted to fucking over dads, to dropping cases, to not taking, not taking appeals and dropping those clients because she needed to have so much time here. That's from the words in the mouth of NJ Turner in those chats. And guess what? I haven't really looked that deep into it, but I have some chats that NJ Turner gave me and gave me permission to download. So, wonderful, wonderful. But hey, go ahead. Please, Karen, continue your impropriety, continue your harassment and intimidation of witnesses and or parties bringing legal action against you that you know are involved in such things, Karen. Keep doing that. Keep proving to the Alabama State Bar who you are. And keep showing the criminal courts who you are. And it also helps me and KK and Abe or anybody else who may or may not be involved in legal proceedings against you, Karen, or witnesses to those things. It also helps all of us show our law enforcement who you are contacting, lying, harassing, and attempting to use to harass, to intimidate witnesses and or parties to proceedings that are coming against you that you know for a fact are involved, Karen. The emails to the attorney prove you know that I'm involved in those proceedings as a party and or witness, whichever the case may be, but you'll need to find that out when the time comes. But you know that I'm a party to those, you know for a fact, and you've admitted it to the other attorney in your emails, Karen. You sure did. It's great. So, Karen, you're just not as smart as you think you are. You don't like people who are smarter than you. And the fact that I know these things and you spent years being a lawyer, the only thing you went to law school to figure out, Karen, is how to be corrupt as fuck. That's what you've done. The thing of it is the fact that I didn't have to go to school to learn what the Constitution says. But more importantly, when it comes to a court of law, Karen, I don't need a law degree to read Supreme Court case law, which is precedence in every single lower court there is, including the family courts, Karen. See, you don't have to be able to be a legal scholar to know that. Oh, you can look those all up on the internet. Google Scholar, you can look up every case, a federal Supreme Court case you can, and it gives you references to other cases. It's all right there, Karen, and I know that you hate that. I know you hate it. But you see, some of us are smart enough to do research past your fucking ignorance level. And I know that you can't stand it. But again, I've also never represented anybody other than myself in any kind of a court proceeding. So she talks about this case, and even though it's a complete lie, Karen, that you still have never proven and cannot prove that I supposedly gave information to some woman's husband because she refused to have sex with me. That's bullshit. But I want you to show that proof, Karen. I want you to show that. And not only that, but I want you to share that first-hand knowledge of the fact that I supposedly did these things. Not hearsay, Karen. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. There it is again. Another legal term, Karen, that you seem to think people don't know. You're defaming my character based on hearsay, not first-hand knowledge, Karen. So you see, hearsay is inadmissible in a courtroom, but it's also, you know for a fact that you only have hearsay when I have the actual proof and have put out the proof to it, but you're using hearsay that you claim to defame and harass me. Karen, I know it's tough. Some dumbass redneck from Ohio is fucking smarter than you are and knows more than you are, and you can't stand the fact that you can't go ahead and legally do anything, because I know for a fucking fact, about the case law, the copyright law, and things like that. And again, I misspoke. It's not a copyright law. Let's just go ahead and call it the Fair Use Act of 1976, Section 107. It says right there what it can be used for, and it's not just copyrighted material, Karen. Oh, God, I know that hurts you. Intellectual property too, not just copyrighted material. But under fair use, that right there releases me from anything that I have to worry about for copyrighted material and or intellectual property, especially when you've done such videos in a public format and live. And then you're taking my videos, you and Pam have collected videos that I've done supposedly, and you think that you can put those on YouTube and use them against me, but yet I can't put your own words on YouTube against you. Now you see, Karen, my YouTube's not an obsession with you. My YouTube shows your obsession with me. That's what it does. It proves your and Pam's obsession with me. I also have all those wonderful videos of the Turners, also with their obsession of me. And all of you working together then, and I have proof of you working together and being all together and hunky-dory and stuff again, working and talking all these things through and slandering and everything else, defaming character and names together again. Yeah, and see, and Danny, that's my point. Imagine my monetary damages. She has affected my ability for my earning potential, because now I have her running around slandering and defaming me, who was a public figure, which I know she hates, under the name that I have copyrighted to, mind you. Under the name, and I also use that same name here on this platform. So she's all went ahead and defamed the name of my intellectual property, of my platform, and myself, and my ability to potentially make earnings from that. Hi, Miss Blair. How are you doing?
I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What happens when you go in front? Let's just say this said attorney presents this evidence, and it shows that the people that are helping her now were actually trying to scam several people to get a lawsuit against her.
Well, that's funny, because I mean, to me, and the same thing that, we told everybody ahead of time, they've done this before. It's a scam. And look, I mean, in maternal, it was funny because all these things that she's talked about them and everything they've said about her. And it's funny because I'm telling you, and I've been saying it for a while, they've been working together the entire time. And just like I said they would do, right the fuck back together again through all of this. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I would think that something that has got to give there, because you can't just choose to say, okay, I'm not going to say anything about these people and what they've done, and we're just going to forget that part, and they're my buddies now, and they tried to raise money from all these people to come down here and take a slander suit against me, but hey, they're in my corner now.
Well, the great part about that is the fact that I have videos from Karen Pettit and Pam Liggett from a very, very long patch of time that include those exact same videos of them saying those things about the Turners. And the Turners saying things about her, because, if they're going to somehow be any kind of a character witness for her, I think it's pretty safe bet to say that the Turners have no character, and they definitely would not be able to be a credible witness. Just saying. So I don't know. That would be something, I guess, that lawyers or people who are involved in the proceedings against her would have to, if there's something that can be done or that can be of use, I'm sure that they'll understand. So I don't know. It's probably something that I'll have to ask them. But it's a good
Yeah.
point.
I just wanted to bring that up because I know y'all got all that going on. And no, I've by no means turned anything into anybody, regardless of whoever thinks what. Have I've been asked? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Have I done it? Nope. Am I saying I won't? Nope. Am I saying I will? Nope. I'll leave it up in the air and let you guess.
Well, see, the thing of it is with me though, it's great because she knows I'm involved. Because the day that I came back out when they were fucking harassing and lying and defaming me and slandering me, and I said I'm going to give it all to them. Oh, she immediately emailed KK's attorney and knows for a fact that I'm involved in that process. So her attempt tonight to defame, harass, and intimidate witnesses and or parties to knowing or to legal procedures that she knows are coming and there's no denying that she knows I'm a party and or witness to those things. There's no denying it. So now her attempts to intimidate, threaten, harass a witness and or party, then I guess then that right there, very bad too. Yep. So yeah, I don't know. I'll make sure I bring that up to him though. And I'll say, okay, that I have not filled anything out yet. I'm in the process of making sure it's written, but I'm telling you in the world, I am going to submit it. I am going to sign it under penalty of perjury, and I will have absolute proof of everything that I write down in that report or that whatever they want to call it. So there we go. And she knows I'm a part of it. She's already admitted to talk to the lawyer about it. She knows it.
Oh, well, I would
Nope.
never perjure myself. I mean, like, if she's worried
Nope.
about me saying that she called CPS and she called my husband's job and she called this and she called my attorney, no, I would tell the plain facts. I accused her, and then she did make those calls. But
And the thing of it is, and what did I say? Well, when I was going based on the information you give me, okay, and
exactly,
I said it, and when you clarified, I said, okay, Tammy Blair says it wasn't what happened, even though that's what she thought. That's cool, and I retracted my statement as well.
exactly. And it was
So,
all the communication with the attorney, and we got that worked out. But what is true is that my house was looked up, my bankruptcies were looked up, and all that was looked up, and it was given to NJ Turner to put out on the internet.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know. So yeah, I mean, this video she did tonight was a straight up attempt to harass and intimidate myself, KK, and anybody else who could potentially be a witness to the things that she's done either to them or to us. And what she did tonight was a big failure, a very big failure for her, but a very big win for us and for KK. So, yes, ma'am. I don't know. That's a question I'll make sure that I have to ask when I speak to the council here in the next couple of days. So I'll make sure I bring it up.
Just let me clarify one more time. She did
Mhm.
not call my husband's job. She did
Mhm.
not call CPS. She did not call my attorney, bankruptcy attorney, but she did call all three of them after I accused her.
Mhm. And I will make clear again that when I had said that I had heard that she had done those things was information that I gotten from you. And when you found out that you had misunderstood, I also said, well, you know what? Blair has said it didn't happen. And I recanted mine as well, because again, I was going based on information that was given to me. So it's not
Exactly.
like either of us have run around on the internet constantly accusing her of these things. Like she's constantly running around accusing people of being a pedophile or perverts or whatever the case may be to have them attacked. So it was clarified by you and myself, as a matter of fact. But Karen wants to continue to play victim.
But there are plenty of things she did do.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
She and Pam.
Yes, ma'am. And
So
NJ and Justin Turner.
yeah. So and and NJ and Justin is the ones that spewed that out and then put out the chats and showed all the info. So
And the greatest part about that, Tammy, is the fact that I have the conversation, the chats between Karen Pettit Paterna and the Turners that show them doing it right there in that chat.
exactly.
I mean, what better can you be? And the great thing too is, for a discovery, I mean, shit, you can go ahead and subpoena phone records,
I can
social
get a
media
sworn
profiles, and
affidavit.
messages.
I can get a sworn affidavit from Captain McDonald and all
Yeah.
the. I can do what I need to do on this end. So
Yes, ma'am. So yeah. But I'm talking to you probably tomorrow. We'll have conversations, and I'll when I find out more information, I will be definitely putting that information out and with to you that anything I find out when it comes to your questions, and yeah, you can proceed how you decide from there. And
yeah,
Judy, yeah,
I haven't decided. I haven't decided. I still and KK will even vouch for that. I
mhm,
still have not decided, and just that's the way I said I was leaving it alone. But the more I hear
mhm,
my name mentioned,
mhm.
you know, for no reason whatsoever.
Well, and like we had all left at the same time, and that I wasn't on here doing or saying anything, and their continued harassment, slander, and defamation, and threats against myself prompted me to come out and become a party to and give information and proof to KK, who's brought legal, recourse against them. So they did it to themselves. They've threatened and harassed enough, and I've gotten to the point where I've just had enough. Had enough. So yes, ma'am, you do it. Your decision is your decision. You know me. I'm not going to go ahead and talk you into or out of anything. I respect you and what your decisions are, regardless of the fact. So
All
you
right,
know
Cropper.
that.
Well, I appreciate that. That was the only question I had was just about, I didn't know how that was going to fare. You these people had begged people for money to
Mhm.
bring a lawsuit against her, and now they're in the same as y'all use it bed with them. So
Yeah, and like I said, when you have people like the Turners who have done the things they've done and said the things they've said, and you are supposedly, supposed to have some sort of a discernment and to be able to make different, like I guess I want to say calls or whatever, but like decisions. And when your character is supposed to be, impeccable, especially when you're claiming to be a voice for children, and you have been associated in the past and are now again associated with people who make up fake child sex trafficking rings, make false accusations that people have raped their children, and are literally talking about fucking minor children. For me, the great part about that is the fact that it even gives more credence to the fact that she, as a garden ad litem, is completely ill-equipped, and that's my opinion, of course, and it just goes from there. But when you associate people like that who have done those things and you claim that you're going to be the voice for children, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. But it's not for me to
all right,
decide.
all right, Cropper. Well, I'm going to bed. I'm
Yes, ma'am.
exhausted. So, but
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
talk
going
to
to go
you
the same.
tomorrow. Okay, hun.
Yes, ma'am. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, bye. So, Shauna, I don't know. I have to unblock you from my phone, as a matter of fact. But I'll shoot you a text tomorrow if you don't care. Um, and then that way we can when I'll talk to my law enforcement and everything else. Um, I may at some point, if I have to talk to them, I mean, I may have to call you on my phone or whatever you need to do. We'll talk about what you're willing to talk to about, whatever the case may be, because I'm not going to put you on the spot. Whatever you're open to, obviously, that is the truth. Then we'll discuss that, so I know when it comes time to talk to my law enforcement and or other parties. So With that, I'm going to go to bed. Karen, your attempt tonight to harass, intimidate witnesses and or parties to legal proceedings that are coming to you and that you know are involved in those proceedings that are coming towards you, for you to come on here and to attempt to harass and intimidate and defame further parties and or witnesses to those things, you should have known better, Karen. You expected me or somebody else to come on and be ranting and raving and pissed off, but no, you tried to intimidate. It failed, but you tried to intimidate. So if you think for a hot second that I'm not going to go ahead and put the complete truth of everything you've done to me and everything that I have proof of the fact you've done to me, both in your own admissions and other documentation, if you think for a hot second that I'm not going to sign an affidavit under penalty of perjury and I don't have absolute proof of everything you've done, you're out of your mind. You attempted to try to sway me or intimidate me from doing so, which is against the law, Karen. You attempted to sway and intimidate KK and anybody else who's involved or potentially could be involved, tried to intimidate, harass, and threaten those people too. Sorry that I'm smarter than you, Karen. I'm sorry the fact that you can try to talk your little legal shit. You can try to go ahead and play lawyer and try to go ahead and throw out your little videos and things like that and talking about, trying to spin things to try to lawyer, like you're talking to a jury. But the proof is overwhelming in what you've done in the past, what you continue to do, and what you attempted to do tonight. So I'll make sure that video that you just did, that's 4 hours long, gets uploaded to YouTube. But also it gets in the hands of people who need it. And we'll go from there. Shauna, I appreciate the fact that you're willing to help whatever you can. Like I said, I'll be going tomorrow. I'll go to my police department. I'll have some conversations. I'm going to get all the call logs and records. And again, the great part of that is I don't have to file a FOIA request for that. I just go up and I ask for those. So they tried to slander and defame me and told you all that I've done things and made false accusations against me, that I've done things still filling out a FOIA request and that I've violated federal law, which is a complete lie. Again, see, another attempt to defame me, to try to intimidate and harass me and slander my name and defame my character yet again. See, all these things are are well documented. I want to thank Allie and anybody else who potentially rescopes and or has these videos as well, that if I can't get them, that I can go ahead and get from the other social media platforms. And so I want to say thanks to everybody. And everybody, look, what she's trying to do is harass and intimidate, along with the further defamation. Do not allow her or Pam, I'm sorry, don't allow Karen Lynn Pettit Paterna, the lawyer in Garden of Adam out of Alabama, or Pamela Liggett out of Arizona. Do not let them intimidate you, harass you into not doing the right thing. If you have proof of something and it's the 100% proof and you want to come forward and do so, have courage to do that, because what they want in her attempt to do this tonight and all these other ones before is to intimidate and stop people from coming forward to go against and stop her, Karen Paterna and Pamela Liggett, from doing the things they've been doing to people, hurting their businesses, hurting their personal lives, hurting their just, in fact, their character, their name, the slander, the attempts to have them targeted as pedophiles, etc. Do not let these people intimidate you into not coming forward and telling the truth or bringing forth any proof that you have, because that's what they want. If you do that, evil wins, because we can all tell that Karen Lynn Pettit Paterna, Pamela Liggett, and the Turners are evil fucking people. We've all seen the things they've said and done. Do not let them convince you or intimidate you from coming out with 100% proof and truth, because that's what they want. Because they don't want to be stopped. They don't want to be held accountable for the things they've done. They try to twist and they try to turn and they try to go ahead and confuse people. Don't let it happen. With that, good night. I'll catch everybody on the flip side.